Ladies and gentlemen, we have WrestleMania 40, the quote, biggest WrestleMania of all time, the 40th anniversary, well, not really the 40th anniversary, but the 40th edition of WrestleMania. Coming up Saturday and Sunday, and what a banger of a card we've got. And I'm going to go through both nights and give you my predictions and talk about how I see these matches going, how I would probably do it, and so let's dig into the card and let's see where we're at. Now, kicking off the show Saturday night, we have the Women's World Championship match between the man Becky Lynch and the champion Rhea Ripley of Judgment Day. Now, so many people are thinking that Becky Lynch is going to walk out of WrestleMania the champion. I actually am on the other side of this. I see Rhea Ripley retaining the title, and here's my reasons why. They have really presented Rhea as a dominant champion. She's the leader of the Judgment Day, and the reason she's able to be that leader is she's a champion, she's dominant, she asserts herself over every situation, and while she hasn't defended that title as much, she's almost taken the Roman Reigns approach to, I don't have to wrestle every week, okay? I'm a star, I'm an attraction, I'm a draw, I'm on top of the world, I'll defend this title when I want to. And it's worked for her. People are complaining about how little Roman defends the title, but nobody's complaining about how little Rhea defends the title. On the flip side, if Becky wins the title, where do you go from here? And that's always my thing in wrestling. I do have a background in pro wrestling. I grew up in the business. My father owned and ran a wrestling promotion here in Texas for many years. From 2015 to 2018, he restarted the promotion. I was the booker for the company. I tend to dig in from a creative side to this. And when I look at Becky as being champion, my question is, and then what? That's always the question you have to ask when it comes to pro wrestling and these stories. And then what? You put the belt on Becky, and then what? Okay, Rhea could stay dominant and just face the next woman up. Okay, we could build her next challenger, and we could set them on a collision course. But you put the belt on Becky, then what? Where do you go with her? Do you put her back in a feud with Nia Jax? What do you do with her that's going to be more interesting than any other Becky Lynch title run that we have ever seen? That's the problem with Becky. She chases the belt, and we all love watching her chase it. But once she gets it, it just completely falls flat. There is nothing really, in my opinion, exciting about a Becky Lynch title run. And I love Becky Lynch. There's very much excitement in watching Becky Lynch wrestle. There's a lot of excitement in watching Becky Lynch chase a title. There, unfortunately, is not a whole lot of excitement in watching Becky Lynch win the title and carry the title. So my final prediction for this match is Rhea Ripley retains the Women's World title against Becky Lynch. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, for match 2, we have the 6-pack tag team ladder match championship match. And this is a lot. And I don't like the idea of this match. It's already enough of a cluster muck when you have 6 individual guys in a ladder match. Now you have 6 tag teams in a ladder match. You have 12 guys going out there. It's like a battle royal with a ladder thrown in. And there should be no way anybody is able to climb a ladder and pull down the titles. Logically speaking, with 12 guys out there, nobody should ever be able to climb the ladder and pull down the belts, okay? So here's the caveat to this match, and they kind of just announced this not too long ago, here earlier this week. In order to win the match, both sets of belts have to be taken down. To me, that opens up a possibility of what I thought the announcement was going to be weeks ago when Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis said they were going to make an announcement regarding the tag titles. I thought at the time they were going to split the belts. Instead, they announced this big match for WrestleMania, and I think this is going to be their way of splitting the belts. Because, again, with the caveat being you have to pull down both sets of belts for the match to be over, you could pull down one set, another team could pull down another set, and the match is over. Now you've got two different teams with two different sets of belts. And I think that's what we're going to end up with in this match coming up tomorrow night. My pick, I think Priest and Balor lose the belts. This is the first big crack in the Judgment Day armor. And I see DIY winning the belts for Raw. And I see Grayson Waller and Austin Theory winning the belts for SmackDown. That's how I see them splitting the belts in a way that actually makes sense. So as much as I dislike this match, if it ends that way, it would make a lot of sense on how they split the belts, rather than just saying, okay, Priest Balor, you have to pick one set of the titles, we're taking the other ones. That doesn't make as much sense. But if you have a match like this where you have, in order for the match to end, you got to pull down both sets of titles, it does make sense now to split the belts, which is what the fans have been wanting for a long, long time. It makes no sense to carry around two sets of belts. It didn't make sense for Roman to carry around two belts. So let's split the belts tomorrow night. Let's put one set on Ciampa and Gargano. Let's put the other set on Waller and Theory. Now you have them split up between two shows, and we're off to the races, and we can work new tag team angles and feuds on both shows for different titles. The third match on Saturday night is a match that I really don't think needs to be on WrestleMania, and that is Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee teaming up to take on Santos Escobar and Dominik Mysterio. Now, you've got this whole LWO versus the Phantasma thing, so it really makes no sense for Dominik to be involved because he's not a part of either group. So again, this feels just like a filler match. This feels like a match that should just be on SmackDown and be done. Okay, this is not a WrestleMania type match. I remember when you used to come out of the Royal Rumble and you started building every storyline that was going to be into WrestleMania. And while the whole LWO versus Phantasma thing has been going on for a while, it doesn't feel like it's gotten the hype worthy of a WrestleMania match. Again, I feel like now that they've moved to 2 nights, which is, in my opinion, a huge mistake, but I see the reasoning from a financial standpoint. They have made a crap ton more money doing it on 2 nights, and this is never going to change now. You have to throw in filler matches, unfortunately, and this is going to be another one of those filler matches. Personally, I just see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee winning this match. I couldn't care less who wins, but I see the baby faces coming out on top, possibly Dominik losing to Rey, taking the pinfall from Rey, which again would put another crack in the Judgment Day armor. They would call out Dominik like, hey, we let you get involved in this and you dropped the ball. That's personally how I would take it there. To add any kind of interest to this match at all, have Dominik take the fall from Rey and have Rhea basically turning on everybody. Especially if Rhea keeps the title, you have Priest and Balor lose their titles. You have Dominik lose to his dad. Now Rhea is holding court on all of Judgment Day and holding everybody accountable, and we can see this whole thing completely fall apart. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope Judgment Day sticks together. I like the group, but this is my prediction for this match. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee beat Santos Escobar and Dominik. Let me know what you think. And speaking of filler matches, we've got yet another one, a 6-woman tag team match with the debuting Jade Cargill teaming up with Naomi and Bianca Belair to take on the Damage Control team of Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. I feel like they really wanted to get Jade on the card for WrestleMania, but she just wasn't ready for a singles match. So this kind of, again, going back to an old wrestling trope, you accentuate the positive, you hide the negatives. The negative being she may not be ready for a high-profile singles match on a show this big. So let's put her in a 6-woman tag match where she could come in from time to time, do her spots, shine up real good, look like a star, get back out of the ring, and let Bianca and Naomi do the heavy lifting of the bulk of the work. Ultimately, in the end, I think that the babyface team wins here. I think Naomi, Bianca, and Jade win this match. And it would not surprise me, honestly, if Jade didn't come in to get the win, get the 1, 2, 3, look like a star on the big stage. This is her coming out party. Let's see what she can do. I think hopefully she'll surprise some people with what she's been able to do in her time away from the ring or time at the Performance Center. Let's put her out there and see what she can do. I think she's going to be a huge star. This is her coming out party. So that's my pick. Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair beat Damage Control tomorrow night. Now, moving on to the semi-main event, we have the Intercontinental title match. Sami Zayn challenging Gunther, and what should be an absolute banger of a match. Now, the consensus out there right now is Sami Zayn will be the one to finally end the reign of Gunther. I personally don't think so. I don't think Sami is going to be the one. He could. Would it surprise me if Sami won? No, not at all. They've really been pushing this thing of Sami digging deep, training with Chad Gable, pushing through the doubt, pushing through the narrative that he can't beat Gunther. So that's why on paper it looks like Sami will beat Gunther. However, I think that Sami has gotten stale since leaving the bloodline. And I think this is their opportunity to really do a bit of a reset on Sami and take him in a different direction that could add some more edge to his character, that could add some edge to a storyline that he's in. And I think Gunther ends up beating Sami Zayn in this match, and that puts us on the path to a new Sami Zayn going forward. I think with him losing this match, there's more of a story to be told than him winning. Because if he wins, much like if Becky wins, then what do you do with Sami Zayn? How do you make Sami Zayn interesting going forward as the Intercontinental Champion? To me, I just don't think you do with the current Sami Zayn. And then, yes, you could take Gunther and push him towards the World Heavyweight title. Absolutely. You could take him in a lot of different directions once he drops the Intercontinental title. But I just think the interesting storyline here is to take Sami on a new path, this loss kind of being the tipping point. So that's my pick in this match. I think Gunther retains the Intercontinental title. Let me know what you think on this outcome. Now we've come to the main event of Saturday night. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins taking on The Rock and Roman Reigns, with the stipulation being if Cody and Seth win, then the bloodline is barred from ringside on Sunday night for Cody's world title match. If The Rock and Roman wins, it's bloodline rules on Sunday night, which means anything goes. Anybody can be at the ringside. Anybody can get involved and do whatever they want during Cody's match with Roman. So here's what I think is going to happen. And I'm going to save the full explanation for when we get to the main event of Sunday's show. But I think Roman Reigns and The Rock are going to beat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins on Saturday night. And I see The Rock being the one that pins Cody Rhodes in the middle of the ring. That's going to lead into Sunday night, and we'll get to that once we come to that main event match. But my pick right now, The Rock and Roman Reigns defeat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins to end Saturday night and go into Sunday. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you see this match playing out and ending? Now, we go into Sunday night, and the opening match for Sunday night is for the World Heavyweight title between the champion Seth Rollins and the challenger Drew McIntyre. Now, I see a twist coming in this match. Seth is going to, in my opinion, be coming off the loss from the night before in the tag match. Now, the special thing in this is we will have CM Punk at ringside doing commentary in this match. Here's the way I see this, and here's how I would book this going forward. CM Punk has just revealed that his healing from his tricep injury has been a lot faster than expected, which means his return to the ring should be sooner than we think. I always felt that Drew was probably going to win the World Heavyweight title here, but here's how I see it playing out. The heat for weeks and weeks has been between Drew and CM Punk, okay? It feels like we're on a collision course between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre once Punk comes back from his injury. However, you have to go back to when CM Punk came back and how the whole thing between him and Seth Rollins, the pull apart, Seth being pissed off that Punk was back. That's where I see this going. Because, again, the plan for this was always to be Seth Rollins versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. It got changed with Punk's injury. Drew stepped in. And now it looks like, since we're on a collision course with Drew and Punk, I think the curveball comes in, and I see CM Punk costing Seth Rollins the World Heavyweight title. I think that's where the underlying heat is, and not taking away from Drew versus Punk, because you can always go that route too, and you can always have triple threat matches going forward, which would be absolutely amazing and would probably be the best way to bring Punk back, is through like a triple threat match, so that it's not a one-on-one and he's not having to carry the full load of a match. That's how I see this. I see CM Punk getting involved, and I see him costing Seth Rollins the World Heavyweight title. Now, could it be one of these things where he accidentally cost Seth the title because he was trying to hit Drew? It could happen. Think back to SummerSlam 97 when Shawn Michaels was the special referee and he cost The Undertaker the title when he tried to hit Bret Hart with the chair. We could have a scenario like that. Anything could happen. But I do see Seth dropping the title to Drew McIntyre. I think this is going to be a big, big spark for Drew going forward. This is going to give him that title reign that he should have had when he won the WWE title years ago, when COVID hit and they were performing in empty arenas and he didn't get the chance to really have that big run that he deserved. This is Drew's opportunity, and I think he's going to make the best of it. He has been on such a roll lately, and that's how I see this match going down Sunday night. We're going to have a big twist to kick off the card. What do you think? Do you think Seth Rollins retains? Do you think Drew takes the title? And how does CM Punk being at ringside play into this whole thing? Let me know in the comments below. Now, in match 2, we have LA Knight versus AJ Styles, and my, how the mighty have fallen. Both of these guys were near the top of the mountain not that long ago. LA Knight was just not that long ago had a world title match, and in my opinion, tore the house down with Roman Reigns. The guy just seemed like they were strapping the rocket to him, and the sky was the limit for him, and now he's in match 2 of night 2 of WrestleMania, and just, again, it feels more like a SmackDown match than a WrestleMania match. And as I record this here on Friday, video came out of LA Knight and AJ Styles getting physical at the WrestleMania press conference in what, in my opinion, was one of the absolute fakest fights of a pre-show press conference that I've ever seen. You think of guys throwing fists at UFC press conferences, boxing press conferences, and it just felt so lame and fake. And the guys start grabbing each other and wrestling on the floor and rolling around, and LA Knight's getting AJ in a front face lock. Not a single punch is being thrown. Okay, if you want to sell me on the fact that there's this much heat that you're going to fight at the press conference and you're not throwing a stiff punch anywhere, you're killing it. You're killing the business, okay? You had something good and you just killed your own business by this lame, weak fight at the press conference, okay? It looked ridiculous. It looked clownish. When the camera's picking this up and you see the fans gathering around, if you're in a real fight and you're there watching it, you want to get back. You want to move back from the situation and not get too close. The fans are trying to get closer because they know it's fake. They know it's clownish. They know it's ridiculous. And yet here these two guys are rolling around on the floor like they're sixth graders having their first ever fight. And then now you're supposed to sell me that there's that much heat between you and buy into your match tomorrow night. Or I'm sorry, Sunday night. I don't buy it. Okay? You would have been better off just going face to face and having words. Okay? Talk trash to each other and then go your separate ways. This just made it lame. It made it weak. It didn't add any interest to this match whatsoever. And like I said, you've just killed your own business. So going on to the match, yes, it's going to be a good match. Both of these guys can go. Taking nothing away from what they're going to do in the ring Sunday night, I see LA Knight getting the win here. They need to get him back on track. They need to give LA Knight his purpose back and put him in some kind of clear direction after WrestleMania. Hopefully that happens, but I think they just killed their own business for this match. I do see LA Knight winning, And what do you think? What do you think of this press conference fight? How do you see Sunday night going between these two? Let me know in the comments below. So now we move on to the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Champion Logan Paul defending against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Just real quick, I think this is going to be an outstanding match. I think all three guys are just going to put on amazing, amazing performances. I actually see Logan Paul retaining the title. I know so many people think that either Randy or Kevin's going to win it. It serves no purpose putting the U.S. title on Randy Orton. Let's face it, the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title probably need to be unified at some point. The U.S. title has lost all meaning over the years, and it's actually getting its most attention being on Logan Paul. So I think for that reason, they keep the belt on Logan Paul. I see a situation where Kevin and Randy are fighting each other. They both go down. Logan just comes in, sneaks the 1, 2, 3, and then jumps out of the ring and celebrates like he just dominated both guys. And I think this leads to a future match between Randy and Kevin, and then Logan Paul can go on and do whatever they plan for him next. While I think it's going to be a good match, it's not going to really be a match that has a lot of meaning. It's not going to really jumpstart a whole lot going forward. But at the end of the day, I do see Logan Paul retaining the United States title in this match. Now, the semi-main event of Sunday night has the WWE Women's Championship. Champion Io Sky defending against Bayley, and what should be an outstanding match. Folks, this is the moment for Bayley. Bayley, in my opinion, is coming in, and she will get her revenge on Damage Control, the group that she started, and she will take that world title away from Io Sky. Io Sky got a lot of hype. A lot of people were wanting to see her win the title. But she, again, suffered from Becky Lynch syndrome. She won the title, and then what? Then what? Nothing. Her title run has been an absolute bore. You don't see those high-profile matches. You don't see those, as much as I hate to say it, you don't see those 4- and 5-star matches for the title out of her that she should have been having this whole time. You're just not seeing it. You're seeing her in a lot of tag matches and things like that. So this is the chance. Put the belt on Bayley. Give her her big WrestleMania moment that she so deserves. Okay? Bayley deserves to have this moment, and she's going to get it Sunday night. My pick, Bayley wins the WWE Women's Championship from Io Sky and gets her final revenge on Damage Control. And now we have come to the main event for Sunday night. Cody Rhodes taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Now, as I touched on in the Saturday night portion, The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win Saturday night. And it's going to come when The Rock pins Cody Rhodes. So now we come to the main event. And folks, before I begin, let me just say, I did absolutely forget about a match for Saturday's card. I forgot about the Usos. How in the world could I forget about the Usos? This is going to be probably the show stealer, at least of night one, if not of both nights. And here I am sitting here forgetting about it. Shame on me. That's one strike on me. I deserve that. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso. This is going to be a banger of a match. I do see Jey winning this match, though. I think Jey ends up coming out. Could Jimmy win? Absolutely. This could absolutely go either way. But my pick in this match, just real quick, I think Jey Uso beats his brother in this match. Now, the main event on Sunday night. Cody Rhodes going after Roman Reigns and the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. As I said for Saturday night, The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to win. They're going to win the tag match, and it's going to come when The Rock pins Cody Rhodes. That means Bloodline rules on Sunday night. Anything goes. Anybody can be out there. You're going to see Solo. You're going to see Jimmy Uso. You're going to see Jey Uso. You're going to see Seth Rollins. You can see half the locker room in this match. When all is said and done, Cody Rhodes will pin Roman Reigns and win the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. And the reason I say that is because of this. This is where I think they go with it. And if this is not where they're going with it, this is how I would go with it. After Roman loses the title to Cody on Sunday night, The Rock can then come out and call out Roman Reigns and say, Roman, I handed this to you on a silver platter. I put all this in your lap. I kicked Cody's ass. I made him bleed. I beat him Saturday night. I pinned him, and you couldn't get the job done. I laid all this at your feet, Roman, and you failed. You failed the family. You failed the bloodline. You dropped the ball. Are you really the right person to be the tribal chief and to lead this family? I had to come back because you couldn't get the job done, Roman. I came back because you couldn't beat Cody the second time around without me. And I laid it all at your feet. I gave you the blueprint. I showed you how to do it. I pinned Cody in the ring 1, 2, 3 Saturday night. I beat him within an inch of his life and handed him to you on Sunday night, and you still lost. So maybe you, Roman, should not be the tribal chief. Maybe you shouldn't be the one to lead the bloodline. Maybe you're not the guy. That's where I would go with it. That's where I think they can go with this, because now you can have The Rock, and from what I understand, The Rock is probably leaving after WrestleMania because he has a movie to film, so you're not going to see a Rock versus Roman or a Rock versus Cody right away. You could see a rematch between Cody and Roman where Cody's the champion, and now maybe the bloodline starts turning on Roman, and maybe Roman loses his empire at the end of the day. And then down the road, maybe at SummerSlam, maybe at Survivor Series, Roman realized that the only way he can get this back is to call out The Rock, to have the match that he wanted to have at WrestleMania, and to beat The Rock to prove that, yes, I am the tribal chief. I am the guy to lead this family. That's where I would go with it. What do you think? Leave your comments below. Overall, this is going to be an outstanding show. So many great matches. There's a few matches that just seem like fillers that probably shouldn't be on a WrestleMania, but we've got so many hours to fill. But all in all, I think this is going to be a very, very good WrestleMania with a lot of great performances. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of my picks for these matches, how I see this going? Who do you think comes out on top between Cody and Roman? And what do you think the fallout is going to be after Sunday night?